really cold in my room. And I don't know why, but it's cold in here. Hi, Ninetail. No one's grabbed first yet. There's Tato grabbed it. Hi, Tato. Congrats on getting first, sweetheart. How you doing? It's cold in here. Right as you looked at it. You're doing okay? That's good to hear. We had some penne noodles in spaghetti sauce with some meatballs and Texas toast. So if I'm a little burpy tonight, or more burpy than usual on ASMR stream, that's why. But it's cold in my room. You're sick? Aw, my sister's sick. Or was. I don't know if she still is. She had stuff going on with her nose. I'm sorry to hear you're sick, Ninetail. Hope you feel better soon. Hope it's just one of those darn 24-hour bugs. But we do have the first ad break in about 3 minutes. Like, I'm cold enough, I'm tempted to go just grab a blanket. But then that'd be too warm. Probably. I don't know, it's just my hands. Kind of cold. For 5 days until you were throwing up. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that, sweetheart. Coughing. Oh. I hate throwing up. It's the worst part of being sick. It's the worst part of being sick. It's terrible. I hate it. Sorry if you guys heard that. That was a doorbell. The ability to breathe. Yes, that's very rough too. That sucks. Hey, Burb, how you doing? Good to see you, sweetheart. We have the next ad break in about 2 minutes. Or the first ad break in about 2 minutes here. We do 3-minute ad breaks every hour on the hour just to keep pre-rolls away. I used to do 1.5 minutes every 30 minutes or so, but it just felt way too often. Way too interruptive. Or more interruptive. So I just do 3 minutes in 1 hour. Take the whole pill at once. Well, good girl, Ninetail. Okay. Drink some water. Let me know if you get hit with ads, Ninetail, or we will pause your good girl until they are over.
And I'm very, very proud
starts any second now. Let me know if you get hit with that tonight too. Good girl, night down. Good girl, good girl, good girl. Good girl, night down. Good girl. Good. Good girl, night down. Good girl. Yeah, very good girl, night down. Good girl, night down. Good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. Good girl, night down. Good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. Night down, thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. I think makes the world a better place. In my humble opinion, anyway. Good girl, night. Good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. Mwah. Hi, Jeannie. Thank you for the work, sweetheart. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the stretch and the treat. Thank you. And the water. Hope you're doing okay, Jeannie. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. Thank you, thank you. Let's see if I have any peanuts left. Oh, goodness. There's one. Alright, what's this? What's the sound like here? Oh, that was very sharp and unpleasant. Crunchy. Okay, sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. Welcome back from the outbreak, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the redeems, Jeannie. Thank you. All right. Good girl, Ninetale. Good girl. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Look at you. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good girl. Oh, look at you. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good girl. Yes, you are. A very, very good girl. Yes, you are. Good girl, Ninetale. Good girl. 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 Okay. The 9 Hopefully that was okay for you. Give me one moment. I need to blow my nose real quick, and then we'll get you your good boy, Stubber. Thank you for being patient with me, sweetheart. Thank you. Sterling, okay. You got it. Alright, let's get you your good boy. Okay.
Sterling, thank you for being here. Thank you for lurking and chatting. Spending time with us on the stream. Thank you. Oh, here comes an airplane. Maybe. No. Okay, never mind. You worked it. Oh, here it comes. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but it's kind of far away. Oh. Here it comes.
Aww. A fellow bottom, I see. Perhaps. No, that's pretty cute. That's pretty cute. Okay, sorry.
Darling, you're very, very good.
Fellow bottom? What do you mean, fellow? You didn't know? It's not obvious? Okay, whatever. Okay.
Sterling, you're a very, very good boy. Good. Good boy, Sterling. Good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy. Hey, Viper. How are you? Good to see you. Good boy, Sterling. Good boy. You're a very, very good boy. Good. Good boy, Sterling. Good boy. Good boy, 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 good boy. Good boy, Sterling. Good boy.
Hi, Hockey. How you doing? Good to see you. It's been a while. We've been well.
I'm doing okay, Viper. I'm doing okay. Good boy, Sterling. Good boy. Good boy, 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 good boy. Good boy. Good boy, Sterling. Good boy. said that's how you. I think they're on the better plane. In my humble opinion, anyway.
Oh. Hi, Bedrin. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing? Good to see you. Hi, CJ. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. You almost fell asleep? Well, maybe you should get some sleep, Sterling. Those are a lot of heart emotes, CJ.
Good boy, Sterling. Good boy. Such a good boy. Yes, you are. Oh, look at you. Such a good boy. Yes, you are. Such a good boy. A very, very good boy. Yes, you are. Such a good boy. Look at you. Such a good boy. Oh, such a good boy. Yes, you are. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, Sterling. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, Sterling. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
There goes Sterling. Here comes an airplane. Hope that was okay for you, Sterling. Take care of yourself. Don't forget to brush your teeth. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Maybe some Twitch might be, but not me. Hope you're doing okay, CJ. Hope you're having a good week. Hope you're staying warm. My room is like, whenever I would leave to go like the bathroom or anything, and then I'd come back to my computer today, my room would be like freezing. It was weird. I'm okay right now, but it got cold in here today, I guess. Yeah, okay. Wouldn't we all, Sterling? Wouldn't we all? I'm just starting to get your wife. You got it, Sterling. You got it. Go get those earbuds. Go get them. So, um, apparently Nintendo is making baby toys now, like Mario baby toys, and I guess they're preparing to launch the line over here. And they released some promotional images, and there's a lady, a mom holding her baby, and a Mario plushie, and her thumb is like bent backwards while holding the Mario plushie. She's probably either just double jointed or it's some weird Photoshop mistake, like that um, Ready Player One poster. If you haven't seen that, it's once you know, like, it's ridiculous. Tangent. There's a Ready Player One poster where the main character is climbing up a power line pole thing, you know, with the where they have like the spokes on the side, and his uh, right leg is like twice the length of his torso, because in Photoshop they like just extended his leg. I mean, they seem cute. Like, it's just a line of toys, but aimed at babies. They already make toys, so I don't know. um, but her thumb was bent weird. So apparently the internet exploded, saying that it was AI. Um, it's not. People's thumbs can do that. Um, it's either that or um, Their thumbs just like that. Photoshop. Thank you, Fiverr. I'm glad you like the ASMR so much. You know, AI, yeah. Birth, it looks really weird. It does look very strange. Um, but hey. So it's like a bunch of like wood blocks, and there's some shaped like pipes, and Mario and Yoshi and Luigi. So, you know, stuff like that. Future video game crashing is keep things off until it crashes. I mean, they started as a toy company, so they printed playing cards. So, um, I don't know. Was I in the middle of a thought? I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm a little sleepy. Random issue, yeah, yeah. Like the crash in the '80s was because they pumped out just so much garbage so quickly. Like it just flooded the market with terrible, just awful games. Um, it wasn't ET alone that caused it, and they were also expensive. Like accounting for inflation, they were like still like $100, um, something like that, maybe more. So like you would buy a game for your Atari system, and it would just be garbage, just terrible, because they were just publishing anything. Um, and something like that. I've watched a couple videos about it, but it's been a while. Um, and ET I think was made by like one or two guys in like 6 months. Um, like that poor guy. They gave him no time to make that game. It's actually a very interesting story because when Concord happened last year or 2 years ago now, it was 2024, right? Um, when Concord came out and then died in 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. Um, there were houseflies born and then lived long enough to see the death of Concord, right? Um, people compared that the amount of like just disaster that Concord, was to like ET. ET was like their Concord was like a single just instance. ET was like um it's similar to like in a way it's similar to like the KPG extinction that killed all the non-avian dinosaurs. It was just the stacking of a bunch of things, and then God threw a rock at it, and then boom, right? So, like there were already climate issues, a bunch of volcanoes going off for a really long time. There's studies that the diversity of dinosaurs was going down, decreasing, right? Um, like they were already kind of suffering a little, and then a giant space rock smacked into Earth. It's not even the largest rock that's hit Earth. Um, I didn't know that. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it. There's a giant crater in Africa. I think, I think it's in Africa. Uh, that hit the Earth during the Precambrian. I think, or like, well, everything was still like protozoas and single-celled organisms. and there's a city built inside of the crater. Like it's just this massive dish of rock. It is gorgeous. And anyway, ET was like one more thing snacked on top that just kind of destroyed the video game market, right? Is the vertifort impact structure. It's so old it's excuse me, it's eroding. And like the crater left by the KPG asteroid, which was like, I think, hold on, how big was it? I could never remember. KPG asteroid. It was 6 to 9 miles in diameter. That's a big honkin' rock. Let's see, where's the crater, the vertifort crater, is between 110 to 190 miles across when it was formed. The latter estimate suggesting the initial crater was larger than the Jix Club crater, which is the one crater by the asteroid that killed the non-avian dinosaurs, and a bunch of other things. Now it's just deformed bedrock, according to this Wikipedia article. The structure's central uplift is known as the vertifort dome, which is around 100 to 120 kilometers or 62 to 75 miles in diameter. The impact structure was formed during the Paleoproterozoic. So a really long time ago. That was 2 billion years ago. It is among the oldest known impact structures on Earth after Yarababa, 2.23 billion years old, and possibly Miralaga. The asteroid that hit Vertifort is estimated to have been one of the largest ever to strike Earth since the Hadean Eon, some 4 billion years ago. Originally thought to have been approximately 10 to 15 kilometers or 6.2 to 9.3 miles in diameter. That might be what this thing is. With the stupid Google AI summary thing, you can't trust that thing. As of 2022, the bolide was estimated between 20 and 25 kilometers, or 12 to 16 miles in diameter, and is estimated to have impacted with a vertical velocity of 15 to 25 kilometers per second, or that's between 34,000 and 56,000 miles per hour. The original impact structure is estimated to have been a diameter of at least 170 kilometers or 110 miles, with the impact affecting the structure of the surrounding host rock in a circular region around 190 miles in diameter. Other estimates have placed the original crater diameter close to 190. The landscape that has been eroded to a depth of around 7 to 11 kilometers, or 4.3 to 6.8 miles, since formation, obliterating the original crater. The remaining structure, the vertifort dome, consists of a partial ring of hills, 70 kilometers or 43 miles in diameter, and is the remains of the central uplift created by the rebound of rock below the impact site after the collision. So, yeah, it's so, like, it's just fascinating to me that you could, like, a big rock can just come out of nowhere. Well, we can see them coming now, but just a rock, bam, everyone's dead. I don't know. Space is cool and very scary. Last year, we read the Wikipedia article for the Tunguska event, which, if you don't know about that, it's super cool. I don't think it might be the last time that like a space rock entered atmosphere and like did damage or something. It didn't even impact the Tunguska event. Well, let me find it here. The Tunguska event is like, the article is so good. I love this Wikipedia article so much. It's so good. We might read it again. Just because it's so good. I love this thing. Let me drink some water real quick. It's so good. Gives me goosebumps every time. Anyway, rocks are cool. Rocks are really cool. I found out about the Tunguska event because it's in the lore of one of my favorite video games, Impossible Creatures, and it's like an event that happens in that game, but not like in real life, where like a space rock blows up an atmosphere, right? It's an experiment goes wrong and then stuff explodes. But anyway, the Tunguska event was a large explosion of between 3 to 50 megatons TNT equivalent that occurred near the Podkamenya Tunguska River in Yinsiak Governorate. Sorry, words are hard. Now, Krasnoyarsk Krai, Russia, on the morning of the 30th of June, 1908. The explosion over the sparsely populated East Siberian taiga felled a large number of trees over an area of 2,150 kilometers squared, or 130 square miles of forest, and eyewitness accounts suggest up to 3 people may have died. The explosion is attributed to a meteor airburst, the atmospheric explosion of a stony asteroid about 50 to 60 meters, or 160 to 200 feet wide. That's tiny compared to other asteroids that have actually made impact. It's just a little baby rock. The asteroid approached from the southeast, probably with a relatively high speed of about 27 kilometers a second, or 98,004 kilometers an hour, or Mach 80. Though the incident is classified as an impact event, the object is thought to have exploded at an altitude of 5 to 10 kilometers, or 3 to 6 miles, rather than hitting the Earth's surface, leaving no impact crater. The Tunguska event is the largest impact event on Earth in recorded history, though much larger impacts are believed to have occurred in prehistoric times, including the Chicxulub impact that ended the Cretaceous period. An explosion of this magnitude would be capable of destroying a large metropolitan area. The event has been depicted in numerous works of fiction. The equivalent Torino scale rating for the impactor is 8, a certain collision with local destruction. Description. Sorry if it's scaring people. I don't mean to scare people. But space rocks are just cool. It's just cool. This stuff's cool to me. It's exciting. It's fascinating. On the 30th of June, 1908, cited as 17th of June, 1908 OS before the implementation of the Soviet calendar in 1918, at around 7... Impressively scary, to be honest. Yeah. Hi, Cookie. At around 7:17 a.m. local time, Evenki natives and Russian settlers in the hills northwest of Lake Baikal observed a bluish light nearly as bright as the sun, moving across the sky and leaving a thin trail. Closer to the horizon, there was a flash producing a billowing cloud, followed by a pillar of fire that cast a red light on the landscape. The pillar split in two and faded, turning to black. About 10 minutes later, there was a sound similar to artillery fire. Eyewitnesses closer to the explosion reported that the source of the sound moved from the east to the north of them. The sounds were accompanied by a shock wave that knocked people off their feet and broke windows hundreds of kilometers away. Very spooky, yeah. But Cookie, it's always good to see you. The explosion registered at seismic stations across Eurasia, and airwaves from the blast were detected in Germany, Denmark, Croatia, and the United Kingdom, and as far away as Batavia, Dutch East Indies, and Washington, D.C. It is estimated that in some places, the resulting shockwave was equivalent to an earthquake measuring 5.0 on the Richter scale. Over the next few days, night skies in Asia and Europe were aglow. There are this is a tough word, sorry. Contemporaneous reports of brightly lit photographs being successfully taken at midnight without the aid of flashbulbs in Sweden and Scotland. It has been theorized that this sustained glowing effect was due to light passing through high-altitude ice particles that had formed at extremely low temperatures as the result of the explosion, a phenomenon that decades later was reproduced on a much smaller scale by space shuttles. In the United States, the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory program at the Mount Wilson Observatory in California observed a months-long decrease in atmospheric transparency consistent with an increase in suspended dust particles. Selected eyewitness reports. This is my favorite part of this article. They're so vivid. They're so good. Though the region of Siberia in which the explosion occurred was very sparsely populated in 1908, there are accounts of the event from eyewitnesses, and regional newspapers reported the event shortly after it occurred. The testimony of S. Semenov, as recorded by Russian mineralogist Leonid Kulik's expedition in 1930. At breakfast time, I was sitting by the house at Vonavara trading post, approximately 65 kilometers or 40 miles south of the explosion, facing north. I suddenly saw that directly to the north, over Uncle's Tunguska Road, the sky split in two and fire appeared high and wide over the forest, as Semenov showed about 50 degrees up. Expedition note. The split in the sky grew larger, and the entire northern side was covered with fire. At that moment I became so hot that I couldn't bear it, as if my shirt was on fire. From the northern side, where the fire was, came strong heat. I wanted to tear off my shirt and throw it down, but the sky shut closed, and a strong thump sounded, and I was thrown a few meters. I lost my senses for a moment, but then my wife ran out and led me to the house. After that, such noise came, as if rocks were falling or cannons were firing. The earth shook, and when I was on the ground, I pressed my head down, fearing rocks would smash it. When the sky opened up, hot wind raced between the houses, like from cannons, which left traces in the ground like pathways, and it damaged some crops. Later we saw that many windows were shattered, and in the barn, a part of the iron lock snapped. That's the whole testimony. I love that. It gives me goosebumps every time I read it. It's so good. It's so good. This is testimony of Chuchan I hope I'm saying that right. Chuchan of the Shanyigir tribe, as recorded by I.M. Suslav in 1926. We had a hut by the river with my brother Chekarin. We were sleeping. Suddenly we both woke up at the same time. Somebody shoved us. We heard whistling and felt strong wind. Chekarin said, "Can you hear all those birds flying overhead?" When we were both in the hut, couldn't see what was going on outside. Suddenly I got shoved again, this time so hard I fell into the fire. I got scared. Chekarin got scared too. We started crying out for father, mother, brother, but no one answered. There was noise beyond the hut. We could hear trees falling down. Chekarin and I got out of our sleeping bags and wanted to run out, but then the thunder struck. This was the first thunder. The earth began to move and rock. The wind hit our hut and knocked it over. My body was pushed down by sticks, but my head was in the clear. Then I saw a wonder. Trees were falling, the branches were on fire. It became mighty bright. How can I say this? As if there was a second sun. My eyes were hurting. I even closed them. It was like what the Russians call lightning. And immediately there was a loud thunderclap. This was the second thunder. The morning was sunny. There were no clouds. Our sun was shining brightly as usual. And suddenly there came a second one. Chekrin and I had some difficulty getting out from under the remains of our hut. Then we saw that above, but in a different place there was another flash, and a loud thunder came. This was the third thunder strike. Wind came again, knocked us off our feet, struck the fallen trees. We looked at the fallen trees, watched the tree tops get snapped off, watched the fires. Suddenly Chekrin yelled, "Look up!" and pointed with his hand. I looked there and saw another flash, and I made another thunder, but the noise was less than before. This was the fourth strike, like normal thunder. Now I remember well that there was also one more thunder strike, but it was small, and somewhere far away, where the sun goes to sleep. It's so good! Where the sun goes to sleep. It's so good. It's so good. And this actually happened. It's so good. It's gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry. Let me drink some water. That one's my favorite. Siberian newspaper, 2nd of July, 1908. On the morning of 17th of June, around 9 a.m., we observed an unusual natural occurrence. In the North Karolinsky village, 200 verst, or 213 kilometers, or 132 miles, north of Korinsky, the peasants saw to the northwest, rather high above their horizon, some strangely bright, impossible to look at bluish-white heavenly body, which for 10 minutes moved downwards. The body appeared as a pipe, i.e. a cylinder. Excuse me. The sky was cloudless, only a small dark cloud was observed in the general direction of the bright body. It was hot and dry. As the body neared the ground, the bright body seemed to smudge, and then turn into a giant billow of black smoke, and a loud knocking, not thunder, was heard as if large stones were falling, or artillery was fired. All buildings shook. At the same time, the cloud began emitting flames of uncertain shapes. All villagers were stricken with panic and took to the streets. Women cried, thinking it was the end of the world. The author of these lines was meantime in the forest, about six versts, or 6.4 kilometers north of Korinsk, and heard to the northeast some kind of artillery barrage that repeated at intervals of 15 minutes, at least 10 times. In Korinsk, in the few buildings in the walls facing northeast window glass shook. Artillery? Yeah. Siberian Life newspaper, 27th of July, 1908. When the meteorite fell, strong tremors in the ground were observed, and near the Lovat village of the Kansk, 2 strong explosions were heard, as if from large caliber artillery. Krasnoyarsk newspaper, 13th of July, 1908. Kazemsko village, I probably said that wrong, I apologize. On the 17th, an unusual atmospheric event was observed. At 7:43, the noise akin to strong wind was heard. Immediately afterward, a horrific thump sounded, followed by an earthquake that literally shook the buildings as if they were hit by a large log or a heavy rock. The first thump was followed by a second, and then a third, and then the interval between the first and the third thumps was accompanied by an unusual underground rattle, similar to a railway upon which dozens of trains are traveling at the same time. Afterward, 5 to 6 minutes, in exact likeness or artillery fire was heard, 50 to 60 salvos in short, equal intervals, which got progressively weaker. After 1.5 to 2 minutes after one of the barrages, 6 more thumps were heard, like cannons firing, but individual, loud, and accompanied by tremors. The sky, at the first sight, appeared to be clear. There was no wind and no clouds. Upon closer inspection to the north, i.e., where most of the thumps were heard, a kind of ashen cloud was seen near the horizon, which kept getting smaller and more transparent, and possibly around 2 to 3 p.m. completely disappeared. Chicken Little, but without any of the fun, nor Disney magic. Yeah. Yeah. Since the 1908 scientific investigation. Since 1908, an estimated 1,000 scholarly papers, most in Russian, have been published about the Tunguska explosion. Owing the site's remoteness and the limited instrumentation available at the time of the event, modern scientific interpretations of its cause and magnitude have relied chiefly on damage assessments and geological studies conducted many years after the event. Estimates of its energy have ranged from 3 to 30 megatons of TNT, or 13 to 126 petajoules. Not until more than a decade after the event did any scientific analysis of the region take place. In part due to the area's isolation and significant political upheaval affecting Russia in the 1910s. In 1921, Russian mineralogist Leonid Kulik led a team to the Podkamenya Tunguska River Basin to conduct a survey for the Soviet Academy of Sciences. Although they never visited the central blast area, many local accounts of the event led Kulik to believe that a giant meteorite impact had caused the event. Upon returning, he persuaded the Soviet government to fund an expedition to the suspected impact zone based on the prospect of salvaging meteoric iron. Kulik led a scientific expedition to the Tunguska blast site in 1927. He hired local Evenki hunters to guide his team to the center of the blast area, where they expected to find the impact crater. To their surprise, there was no crater at ground zero. Instead, they found a zone roughly 8 kilometers or 5 miles across, where the trees were scorched and devoid of branches but still standing upright. Trees farther from the center had been partially scorched and knocked down away from the center, creating a large radial pattern of downed trees. In the 1960s, it was established that the zone was of leveled forest occupied an area of 2,150 kilometers squared, or 130 square miles. Its shape resembling a gigantic spread-eagled butterfly with a wingspan of 70 kilometers or 43 miles and a body length of 55 kilometers to 34 miles or 34 miles. Upon closer examination, Kulik found holes that he erroneously concluded were meteorite holes. He did not have the means at the time to excavate the holes. During the next 10 years, there were 3 more expeditions to the area. Kulik found several dozen little pothole bogs, each 10 to 50 meters or 33 to 164 feet in diameter, that he thought might be meteoric craters. After laborious exercise in draining one of these bogs, the so-called Suslov's crater, 32 meters or 105 feet in diameter, he found an old tree stump on the bottom, ruling out the possibility that it was a meteoric crater. In 1938, Kulik arranged for an aerial photographic survey of the area, covering the central part of the leveled forest, 250 square kilometers or 97 square miles. The original negatives of these aerial photographs, 1,500 negatives, each 18 by 18 centimeters or 7.1 by 7.1 inches, were burned in 1975 by order of Yevgeny Krinov, then chairman of the Committee of Meteorites of the USSR Academy of Sciences, as part of an initiative to dispose of increasingly flammable nitrate film. Positive prints were preserved for further study in Tomsk. Expeditions sent to the area in the 1950s and 60s found microscopic silicate and magnetite spheres in siftings of the soil. Similar spheres were predicted to exist in the felled trees, although they could not be detected by contemporary means. Later expeditions did identify such spheres in the resin of the trees. Chemical analysis showed that the spheres contained high proportions of nickel relative to iron, which is also found in meteorites, leading to the conclusion that they were of extraterrestrial origin. The concentration of the spheres in different regions of soil was also found to be consistent with the expected distribution of debris from the meteor airburst. Later studies of the spheres found unusual ratios of numerous other metals relative to the surrounding environment, which was taken as further evidence of their extraterrestrial origin. Very big, yes. A chemical analysis of peat bogs from the area also revealed numerous anomalies considered consistent with an impact event. The isotopic signatures of carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen at a layer of the bogs corresponding to 1908 were found to be inconsistent with the isotopic ratios measured in the adjacent layers, and this abnormality was not found in bogs outside the area. The region of the bogs showing these anomalous signatures also contains an unusually high proportion of iridium, similar to the iridium layer found in the Cretaceous Paleogene boundary, which is the layer of rock that ended at the end of the Cretaceous. These unusual proportions are believed to result from debris from the falling body that deposited in the bogs. The nitrogen is believed to have been deposited as acid rain, a suspected fallout of the explosion. Other scientists disagree. Quote, some papers report that hydrogen, carbon, and nitrogen isotopic compositions with a signature similar to those of Ci and Cm carbonaceous chondrites were found in Tunguska peat layers dating from the TE, and that iridium anomalies were also observed. Measurements performed in other laboratories have not confirmed these results. Close quote. So, I thought Stardew invented iridium. Nope, it's real. It's real. Researcher John Afinogenov, probably butchered that, I apologize, has suggested that a boulder found at the event site, known as Johnstone, is a remnant of the meteorite, but oxygen isotope analysis of the quartzite suggests that it is of hydrothermal origin and probably related to Permian-Triassic Siberian traps magnetism. The more you know, yep. In 2013, a team of researchers published the results of an analysis of microsamples from a peat bog near the center of the affected area, which show fragments that may be of extraterrestrial origin. Although it is widely claimed the impact resulted in the felling of over 80 million trees, this was based on a preliminary guess multiplying tree density by impacted area that overestimated the area of devastation by a factor of 4, so it's likely to be incorrect. The largest accurately recorded felled trees are around 44 centimeters or 17 inches in trunk diameter, and not around 1 meter or 3 feet 3 inches, that has been claimed by some sources. The observation of decreased atmospheric transparency at the Mount Wilson Observatory in California have been used to calculate that roughly 1 million tons of dust were released into the stratosphere. Following modeling suggests that shock waves from the falling meteor generated up to 30 million tons of nitric oxide in the stratosphere and mesosphere, which resulted in a peak ozone depletion of 35 to 45% for early 1908 and ones of roughly 30% in 1910 and 15% in 1911, and a tripling of UVB intensity in the ground at latitude 30 degrees north. Earth Impactor Model. The leading scientific explanation for the explosion is a meteor airburst by an asteroid 6 to 10 kilometers or 4 to 6 miles above the Earth's surface. Meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere from outer space every day, traveling at a speed of at least 111 kilometers a second, or 40,000 kilometers an hour, or 25,000 miles an hour. The escape velocity of the Earth. The heat generated by compression of air in front of the body, ram pressure, as it travels through the atmosphere is immense, and most meteoroids burn up or explode before they reach the ground. Early estimates of the energy of the Tunguska airburst ranged from 10 to 15 megatons of TNT to 30 megatons of TNT, depending on the exact height of the bursts as estimated when the scaling laws from the effects of nuclear weapons are employed. More recent calculations that include the effects of the object's momentum find that more of the energy was focused downward than would be the case from a nuclear explosion, and estimate that the airburst had an energy range from 3 to 10 megatons of TNT. The 15 megaton estimate represents an energy of about 1,000 times greater than that of the Trinity nuclear test, and roughly equal to that of the United States Castle Bravo nuclear test in 1954, which measured 15.2 megatons. and 1/3 of the Soviet Union's Tsar Bomba test in 1961. A 2019 paper suggests the explosive power of the Tunguska event may have been around 20 to 30 megatons. Since the second half of the 20th century, close monitoring of Earth's atmosphere through infrasound and satellite observation has shown that asteroid airbursts with energies comparable to those of nuclear weapons routinely occur, although Tunguska-sized events on the order of 5 to 15 megatons are much rarer. Hi, Toto. Thank you for being here. Eugene Shoemaker estimated that 20 kiloton events occur annually, and that Tunguska-sized events occur once every 300 years. More recent estimates place Tunguska-sized events at about once every 1,000 years, with 5 kiloton airbursts averaging about once per year. Most of these are thought to be caused by asteroid impactors, as opposed to mechanically weaker cometary comets, based on their typical penetration depths into the Earth's atmosphere. The largest asteroid airburst observed with modern instrumentation was the 500 kiloton Chelyabinsk meteor in 2013, which shattered windows and produced meteorites. So Tunguska was not the most recent one. Okay. Glancing impact hypothesis. In 2020, a group of Russian scientists used a range of computer models to calculate the passage of asteroids with diameters of 200, 100, and 50 meters at oblique angles across Earth's atmosphere. They used a range of assumptions about the object's composition, as if it were made of iron, rock, or ice. The model that most closely matched the observed event was an iron asteroid up to 200 meters in diameter traveling at 11.2 kilometers per second that glanced off the Earth's atmosphere and returned into solar orbit. Blast pattern. The explosion's effect on the trees near the explosion's hypocenter was similar to the effects of the conventional Operation Blowdown. These effects were caused by the blast wave produced by large airburst explosions. The trees directly below the explosion are stripped as the blast wave moves vertically downward, but remain standing upright, while trees farther away are knocked over because the blast wave is traveling closer to horizontal when it reaches them. Soviet experiments performed in the mid-1960s with model forests made of matches on wire stakes and small explosive charges slid downward on wires produced butterfly-shaped blast patterns similar to the pattern found at the Tunguska site. The experiments suggested that the object had approached at an angle of roughly 30 degrees from the ground and 115 degrees from north and had exploded in midair. Asteroid or comet. In 1930, the British meteorological and mathematician F.J.W. Whipple suggested that the Tunguska's body was a small comet. A comet is composed of dust and volatiles, such as water, ice, and frozen gases, and could have been completely vaporized by the impact with Earth's atmosphere, leaving no obvious traces. The comet hypothesis was further supported by the glowing skies, or sky glows, or bright lights observed across Eurasia for several evenings after the impact, which are possibly explained by dust and ice that had been dispersed from the comet's tail across the upper atmosphere. The cometary hypothesis gained a general acceptance among Soviet Tunguska investigators by the 1960s. Let me drink some water. We're almost through this one. We're almost done. Space is so cool. Excuse me. In 1978, Slovak astronomer Lubor Krasak suggested that the body was a fragment of comet Encke, a periodic comet with a period of just over 3 years that stays entirely within Jupiter's orbit. It is also responsible for Beta Taurids, an annual meteor shower with a maximum activity around the 28th to 29th of June. The Tunguska event coincided with that shower's peak activity. The Tunguska object's approximate trajectory is consistent with what would be expected from a fragment of comet Encke. in a hypothetical risk corridor has now been calculated, demonstrating that if the impactor had arrived a few minutes earlier, it would have exploded over the US or Canada. It is now known that bodies of this kind explode at frequent intervals, tens to hundreds of kilometers above the ground. Military satellites have been observing these explosions for decades. In 2019, astronomers searched for hypothesized asteroids, roughly 100 meters in diameter, from the Taurid swarm between the 5th to 11th of July and the 21st of July to the 10th of August. As of February 2020, there have been no reports of discoveries of any such objects. In 1938, astronomer Zendek Zakania published a paper criticizing the comet hypothesis. He pointed out, a body composed of cometary material traveling through the atmosphere along such a shallow trajectory ought to have disintegrated, whereas the Tunguska body apparently remained intact into the lower atmosphere. Zakania also argued that the evidence pointed to a dense rocky object, probably of asteroidal origin. This hypothesis was further boosted in 2001 when Farinella Hashini et al. Released a study calculating the probabilities based on orbital modeling extracted from the atmospheric trajectories of the Tunguska object. They concluded, with a probability of 83%, that the object moved on an asteroidal path originating from the asteroid belt, rather than on a cometary one, probably of 17%. Proponents of the comet hypothesis have suggested that the object was an extinct comet with a stony mantle that allowed it to penetrate the atmosphere. The chief difficulty in the asteroid hypothesis is that a stony object should have produced a large crater where it struck the ground, but no such crater has been found. It has been hypothesized that the asteroid's passage from the atmosphere caused pressures and temperatures to build up to a point where the asteroid abruptly disintegrated in a huge explosion. The destruction would have to have been so complete that no remnants of substantial size survived, and the material scattered into the upper atmosphere during the explosion would have caused the sky glows. Models published in 1993 suggested that the stony body would have been about 60 meters or 200 feet across, with physical properties somewhere between the ordinary chondrite and a carbonaceous chondrite. Citation needed. Typical carbonaceous chondrite substance tends to be dissolved with water rather quickly unless it is frozen. 15 minutes? Okay. Let's get your redeems. The ads start in about a minute, though. Oh, let me drink some water. I'll snooze the ads for you. All right. Smooches, a good bread, and then mouth sounds. Okay. I snoozed them. Thank you, sorry, bot. Okay. But good to see you, bread. All right, here's your smooches. Would you like breathy smooches, bread? Slow smooches? Sorry, I don't know if this is relaxing ASMR, but I enjoy reading the Tunguska event article. It's been a while since I've read it. Here's your smooches, bread. Slow breathy, okay. Since you only have 15 minutes, I'm not going to spend too long on each of them. Probably like 2.5 minutes or so. I'm going to try. We'll see if I can. What? I don't know if it's a word. No, it's not a word. All right, we'll do a couple more and then we'll move on to your good bread. I just want to make sure you get all of these bread. That's all. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, now we'll get you your good bread. I'm going to try to get this done before the ad break starts, but we'll see. Bread, thank you for being here. Thank you for lurking and chatting. Spending time with us on the streams. Thank you. Brad, you worked very, very hard this week. And I'm very, very proud of you. You're a very, very good Brad. You're a very, very good Brad. A cute little dinner roll. Cute little dinner roll. You're a very, very good Brad. And I'm very proud of you, Brad. Good Brad, 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 good Brad. Brad, thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. I think makes the world a better place, in my humble opinion, anyway. All right. Good bread. You're a very, very good bread. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good bread. A very, very good bread. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good bread. Good bread, 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 good bread. You're a very, very good bread. Yes, you are. Oh, look at you, such a good bread. Yes, you are. Good bread, good bread, good bread, good bread, good bread, good bread, good bread. Such a good bread. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good bread. Alright, the ads start any second now, Brad. Let me know if you get hit with ads. And if you don't, we'll get your mouth on. I think you said you have nitro or something, so I won't worry about it, I guess. I'm just going to put on some chapstick real quick. Okay. So just heads up, we're going to be doing some mouth sounds. So if they're not your thing, I totally understand. Please feel free to mute the tab, step away, go get a snack, get some water, take your meds. It'll just be a couple minutes here. Excuse me, sorry, goodness. Hi, James. You're a little eepy. I'm sorry you got your Wednesday ad break started. Thank you for the work, James. Thank you. Sorry for the burp.
Here's your mouth sound spread.
There you go, Brett. Thank you for the redeemed sweetheart. Thank you. Hope those were okay for you. Welcome back from the outbreak, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. It's gonna throw off our rhythm tonight. It snoozed them, but it's okay. All right. All right, let's finish this article. We're almost done. Where were we? Okay. Christopher Chiba and others have proposed a process whereby a stony asteroid could have exhibited the Tunguska impactor's behavior. Their models show that when the forces opposing a body's descent become greater than the cohesive force holding it together, it blows apart, releasing nearly all its energy at once. The result is no crater, with damage distributed over a fairly wide radius, and all damage resulting from a thermal energy blast releases. During the 1990s, Italian researchers, coordinated by the physicist Giuseppe Longo from the University of Bologna, I hope I said that right, extracted resin from the core of the trees in the area of impact to examine trapped particles that were present during the 1908 event. They found high levels of material commonly found in rocky asteroids and rarely found in comets. Kenny et al. 2009 contend that the impact was caused by a comet because of the sightings of noctilucent clouds following the impact, a phenomenon caused by massive amounts of water vapor in the upper atmosphere. They compared the noctilucent cloud phenomenon to the exhaust plume from NASA's Endeavour space shuttle. A team of Russian researchers led by Edward Drobyshevsky in 2009 suggested that the near-Earth asteroid 2005 NB may be a possible candidate for the Tunguska object's parent body as the asteroid made a close approach of 0.06945 AU, or 27 LD, which is lunar distance, okay, from Earth on the 27th of June 1908, 3 days before the Tunguska event. The team suspected that 2005 NB 56's orbit likely fits with the Tunguska object's modeled orbit, even with the effects of weak non-gravitational forces. In 2013, analysis of fragments from the Tunguska site by a joint US-European team was consistent with an iron meteorite. The February 2013 Chelyabinsk bolide event provided ample data for scientists to create new models for the Tunguska event. Researchers used data from both Tunguska and Chelyabinsk to perform a statistical study of over 50 million combinations of bolide and entry properties that could produce Tunguska-scale damage when breaking apart or exploding at similar altitudes. Excuse me. Some models focused on combinations of properties which created scenarios with similar effects to the treefall pattern, as well as atmospheric and seismic pressure waves of Tunguska. 4 different computer models produced similar results. They concluded that the likeliest candidate for the Tunguska impactor was a stony body between 50 and 80 meters, or 164 to 262 feet in diameter, entering the atmosphere at roughly 55,000 kilometers an hour, or 34,000 miles per hour, exploding at 10 to 14 kilometers, or 6 to 9 miles altitude, and releasing explosive energy equivalent to between 10 and 30 megatons. This is similar to the blast energy equivalent from the 1980 volcanic eruption of Mount St. Helens. The researchers also concluded impactors of this size hit the Earth only at an average interval scale of millennia. Lake Chaco? In June 2007, scientists from the University of Bona identified a lake in the Tunguska region as a possible impact crater from the event. They do not dispute that the Tunguska body exploded in midair, but believe that a 10-meter, 33-feet fragment survived the explosion and struck the ground. Lake Checo is a small bowl-shaped lake about 8 kilometers or 5 miles northwest of the hypocenter. The hypothesis has been disputed by other impact crater specialists. A 1961 investigation had dismissed a modern origin of Lake Checo, saying that the presence of meters-thick silt deposits on the lake bed suggests an age of at least 5,000 years, but more recent research suggests that only a meter or so of the sediment layer on the lake's bed is normal lacustrine sedimentation, a depth consistent with an age of about 100 years. Acoustic echo soundings of the lake floor support the hypothesis that the Tunguska event formed the lake. The soundings revealed a conical shape for the lake bed, which is consistent with an impact crater. Magnetic readings indicate a possible meter-sized chunk of rock below the lake's deepest point that may be a fragment of the colliding body. Finally, the lake's long access points to the Tunguska explosion's hypocenter, about 7 kilometers or 4.3 miles away. Work is still being done at Lake Chenko to determine its origins. The main points of the study are that Cheko, a small lake located in Siberia close to the epicenter of the 1908 Tunguska explosion, might fill a crater left by impact of a fragment of a cosmic body. Lake bed sounds comfy, full of mud and goopy stuff and plants and dead things. Sediment cores from the lake's bottom are studied to support or reject this hypothesis. A 175 centimeter long or 69-inch core, collected near the center of the lake consists of an upper sea 1 meter thick, 39-inch sequence of lacustrine deposits overlaying coarser chaotic material. Hi, Cookie. 210 PB and 137 CS indicate that the transition from lower to upper sequence occurred close to the time of the Tunguska event. Pollen analysis reveals that remains of aquatic plants are abundant in the top post-1908 sequence, but are absent in the lower pre-1908 portion of the core. These results, including organic C, N, and omega-13 C data, I think that's carbon. C is carbon, right? I think. Suggests that Lake Checo formed at the time of the Tunguska event. Pollen assemblages confirm the presence of two different units, above and below the roughly 100 centimeter level. The upper 100 centimeter long section, in addition to pollen taiga forest trees such as ibis, betula, junipers, larix, pinus, picea, and populus, contain abundant remains of hydrophytes, i.e., aquatic plants probably deposited under lacustrine conditions similar to those prevailing today. These include both free-floating plants and rooted plants, growing usually in water of up to 3 to 4 meters in depth. Thank you for the water cookie. Thank you. Or ASMR. I'm reading Wikipedia because it's cool. It's cool. Sorry if I'm being loud. Growing usually in water up to 3 to 4 meters in depth. Calastre, Hautonia, Lemna, Hydrocharis, Myrophyllum, Nufar, Nymphea, Potamogeton, Sagittaria. In contrast, the lower unit below the 100 centimeter contains abundant forest tree pollen, but no hydrophytes, suggesting that no lake existed then, but a taiga forest growing on marshy ground, figure 5, pollen and micro charcoal show a progressive reduction in the taiga forest from the bottom of the core upward. This reduction may have been caused by fires, 2 local episodes below roughly 100 centimeters, then by the Tunguska event and the formation of the lake between 190 centimeters, and again by subsequent fires, one local fire in the upper 40 centimeters. Wikipedia. We still have Wikipedia. That's what I'm reading right now. In 2017, new research by Russian scientists pointed to a rejection of the theory that the Tunguska event created Lake Chekhov. They used soil research to determine that the lake is 280 years old or even much older. In any case, clearly older than the Tunguska event. Thank you for the treat, Tato. Thank you. I think I have a handful of peanuts left. Alright. How are you, Tato? Give me one moment. I need to blow my nose real quick. Okay. Sorry about that. You're comfy. Let's go. So tomorrow is the return of Battle Beans. We're playing Battle Beans with Bear Sister tomorrow. For tomorrow's stream. I didn't ask if you wanted to play Teto, but last time I was very overwhelmed because it was not your fault, but I had you in my headphones, and then I had chat, and then my sister sitting next to me, and my sister was like, "Pay attention, they're talking to you." I'm trying. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. Goodness. But nice. Got some more movies. Okay, where did we leave off? The beans. Yep. My sister. We'll see if she wins again this time. Okay, where do we leave off? Oh, in any case, clearly older than the Tunguska event. In analyzing soils from the bottom of Lake Checo, they identified a layer of radionuclide contamination from mid-20th century nuclear testing at Novaya Zemlya. The depth of this layer gave an average annual sedimentation rate of between 3.6 and 4.6 millimeters a year. These sedimentation values are less than half of the 1 centimeter a year calculated by Gasparini et al. In a 2009 publication on their analysis of the core they took from Lake Checo in 1999. The Russian scientists in 2017 counted at least 280 such annual varves. A varve is an annual layer of sedimentary rock. Okay. In the 1,260 millimeter long core sample pulled from the bottom of the lake, representing an age older than the Tunguska event. You have to stay with coworkers for going away party, but you'll tune in. Okay. Additionally, there are problems with impact physics. It is unlikely that a stony meteorite in the right size range would have the mechanical strength necessary to survive atmospheric passage intact while retaining a velocity high enough to excavate a crater that size on reaching the ground. Geophysical hypothesis. The scientific consensus is that the Tunguska explosion was caused by the impact of a small asteroid. There are some dissenters. Astrophysicist Wolfgang Kunt, that's KUNDT, has proposed that the Tunguska event was caused by the release and subsequent explosion of 10 million tons of natural gas from within the Earth's crust. The basic idea is that natural gas leaked out of the crust and then rose to its equal density height in the atmosphere. From there, it drifted downwards in a sort of wick, which eventually found an ignition source such as lightning. Once the gas was ignited, the fire streaked along the wick and then down the source of the leak in the ground, whereupon there was an explosion. The similar Wurmshot hypothesis has also been proposed as a possible cause of the Tunguska event. Other research has proposed a geophysical mechanism for the event. Similar event. A small airburst occurred over a populated area on the 15th of February 2013 at Chelyabinsk in the Ural district of Russia. The exploding meteorite was determined to have been an asteroid that measured about 17 to 20 meters, or 56 to 66 feet across. It had an estimated initial mass of 11,000 tons and exploded with an energy release of approximately 500 kilotons. The airburst inflicted over 1,200 injuries, mainly from broken glass falling from windows shattered by its shockwave. In fiction, many alternative explanations for the event appear. The notion that it was caused by an alien spaceship is a popular one that gained prominence following the publication of Russian science fiction writer Alexander Kazantsev's 1946 short story Explosion, which doesn't have a Wikipedia article. Anyway, that's the article. we're done with it now. So if anyone has any trigger requests or anything of the sort, please feel free to get those in. Could have done that before, but we're done reading now, so you don't have to worry about that. Anyway, it's a really good article. And you should read it for yourself because it's a good time. It's a good time. Stretch, thank you, Fiverr. And Water, thank you, Fiverr. And a treat, I'm running out of peanuts here. I'm running out of peanuts. Wombo combo cat packages. Oh wow, wombo combo! Well, this would be nice. Okay, let me put on some chapstick. I just drank water. I don't need more. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry for that whistle. I don't know if that was my nose or what. Tea, nice, nice. Excuse me, sorry about the burp, sorry. But out and in, yeah, true. Very true. I take a fiver. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Fiver. But we are approaching the 2-hour mark. We're getting close, so if there are any other trigger requests or smooch redeems or anything, please get those in soon. We probably will be going a little later than usual because we snoozed the ads. So, yeah, we probably have like another 30-40 minutes of stream. You want a good boy Fiverr? Okay. Fiverr. Thank you for being here. Thank you for lurking and chatting. Math sounds for a list. Okay. Okay, I don't know if I can handle that many mouth sounds. My mouth is very dry. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Tato. Fiverr. Thank you for being here. Thank you for lurking and chatting. Spending time with us on the stream. Thank you, Fiverr. You worked very, very hard this week. And I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for being who you are. Doing what you do. I think makes the world a better place. In my humble opinion, anyway. Very good boy, Ivor. Good boy. Good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy. Good boy, Fiver, good boy. You're such a good boy, yes you are. Yes, you are such a good boy. Look at you, such a good boy, yes you are. Yes, you are such a good boy. Good boy, Fiver, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy. Good boy, you're such a good boy, yes you are. Yes, you are such a good boy. Good boy, Fiver, good boy. Good boy, yes you are. You're such a good boy, yes you are. Oh, look at you, such a good boy. Such a good boy, yes you are. Yes, you are such a good boy.
Alright. There you go, Fiver. Hopefully that was okay for you. Give me one moment. I need to blow my nose real quick. And I can get you your mouth sounds, Teto. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright. Let's get you those mouth sounds, Teto. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it so much, Fiver. Bud Bunny. Hi, sweetie. How you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. I'm okay. Thank you for the mouth sounds request, Teto. Thank you. Hopefully it's okay for you. I need to take a break. My mouth just get really dry here. I'm doing good, Bun Bunny. I'm doing good. We had some penne noodles and spaghetti sauce, meatballs, and some Texas toast for dinner. So I'm doing okay.
Mwah.
We did snooze the ad break like an hour ago, so it's gonna start at in like 15 minutes instead of 5. So, or something like it. I don't know. Numbers. It's pretty yummy. It's pretty yummy. I think something about spaghetti makes me gassy. So penne noodles don't do that to me. So um, it's nice. when in the past when we have had spaghetti, like I feel kind of maybe this is TMI. I don't know. I feel a little bloated for a little while after I eat spaghetti. Or it's the garlic Texas toast. I don't know, but I'm doing okay. So I don't know. The human body is an enigma.
Mwah. 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 Mwah.
That's a cute emo fiver. That's super cute. Gluten? I don't know. Hmm. Or maybe it just hasn't hit me yet. I don't know. Have any of the good stuff? That's not true, Teto. You're good stuff. So weird. Sorry. Sorry. So far, I am not allergic to anything. To my knowledge, I haven't had any like tests done or anything, but like I haven't had a reaction to anything. Um, maybe I don't know. I had lobster bisque once, and that thing gave me the runs. So maybe a lobster, but that could have just been something else in the soup. I don't know. It's gross. Sorry. Sorry. And I was really excited to try lobster bisque because uh, I don't know if anyone else knows about Studio C, but it was a sketch comedy show on BYU TV. It's a Mormon church owned broadcast network. And Studio C started uh, from a sketch comedy group that I cannot recall the name of for the life of me right now, that on BYU campus. And some people from the group graduated or whatever, and then they got a show on BYU TV called Studio C. And there's a reoccurring character in some sketches that has a funny voice, and he runs a soup store or a restaurant where he only really serves lobster bisque, and he says bisque funny. It's been so long since I watched the sketches. I don't think I can replicate it for you. Lobster bisque, something like that. It is hilarious. At least when I was 11, 12. Um, they do have some pretty good sketches on there. One that made me laugh the hardest, seeing it for the first time, um, is this infomercial spoof sketch where this guy he wrote a book on how to be more efficient with your time or whatever by sleeping for like 30 minutes every hour, like taking really fast, really short, frequent naps. So he goes through explaining what you can do by saving time by not sleeping or sleeping the way he does. And there's a point where he's like, don't touch the remote. Don't touch that TV remote because the gnomes in the batteries will steal your fingernails. And it killed me. It killed me. It killed me. Not more naps. It's only naps. The end of the sketch is him flopping off a chair because he just passes out. Yeah, it's a good sketch. And the gnomes in the batteries stealing your fingernails. It just hit me really hard for whatever reason. And the show went for I don't know how many seasons. And then the original cast all left to do their own stuff. Some of them went back to Studio C or is on Studio C still. Like one or two. But yeah, they've since the original cast has since moved on, and they've made their own films and comedy shows on YouTube and stuff. They're pretty good. It's been a while since I've watched any of their stuff, but yeah. There's gnomes in the batteries. You're living your life in danger zone. Do you touch batteries a lot, Fiverr? I don't know. It just killed me. It was hilarious. You might know them as the if you're old enough, you might know them as the Scott Sterling people. You know the guy, the soccer player that keeps getting hit in the face by the ball, and when he's the goalie and he keeps blocking the ball from going in with his face, and he gets hit so many times that he can't stand up anymore. So they prop him up in a fold up chair in front of the goal, and then the person kicks the ball and it hits him right in the face. Yeah, that's them. That's Studio C. It was Scott Sterling ended up on an episode of that React channel that tried to copyright the word React. or trademark it or whatever. The Fine Bros is the Fine Bros. Yeah. Scott Sterling ended up on one of those. Yep. They became the villains of the internet for a year or two. I don't know. I don't remember how long that was. That was so long ago. But it was a big deal. The ad break is going to start any second now. So we'll probably call it a night in like 10 minutes. We're going to go raid Minari tonight. Welcome back from the outbreak, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. I appreciate it lots. It's probably because this is an ASMR stream with a tag on it. It also could just be Twitch pooping its pants because it does that all the time. It does that all the time. All the time. All right. If we don't have any other trigger requests in like the next minute or two here, we'll get the right going. And you kind of have to go to the bathroom, so. We're gonna rate Minari because we haven't in a while, and she's doing some ASMR. Excuse me. Sorry, I was just typing. So I'm in a bear tuber Discord. I'm in a couple. But I'm in one called Paradise, and Huffy, who's a polar bear, and he's very sweet. He's very also his model is very large. He's a very large bear. He reminds me a lot of like the Legend of the Compass polar bears, but he's like humanoid and has like massive bear hands. It's very cool, and he's very sweet. He streams on YouTube. He plays lots of Arknights. I think I think he's playing through a horror light novel, or not light novel, virtual novel. And last year, um, he put all of our models on a height chart, um, and I can't find it. You do? Who are they, Fiverr? I might know them. Maybe. Maybe. I only know a handful of other teddies. I know Barry and Plush are humanoid teddies. Let me see. Oh, they're live right now. Oh, they're playing Code Vein. Okay. I will. He's awesome. Okay. If you want to write, do you know when do they stream? Okay. Their schedule is kind of all over the place. All right. If you want to remind me another night when he's live, we can raid him. But he's not. He's playing a game, so I don't want to wake people up. But if you want to remind me, we will. We can raid him at some point. Okay. All right. Give me one moment. Swap my headphones, and we'll get the raid going here. And go say hi to Minari. Mwah. I'll be right back. Okay. Maybe Saturday. If he's streaming on Saturday, we can raid him then. Okay. All right. And go say hi to Minari. Please give her lots of love. She's very sweet. She is a very lovely mom VTuber because she is a mom. She's very sweet. She streams ASMR most of the time. I think she played Mario Kart last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Bella Bean stream with my sister. You guys better behave yourselves. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thursdays are slow days, so we'll see if many people show up. But I love you guys very much. Thank you for spending time with me tonight. Thank you for listening to me read Wikipedia for like an hour. I appreciate it. All right. Love you guys very much. Please take care of yourselves. Get some food, get some water, take your meds, brush your teeth, take your vitamins, put on some cozy pajamas. It's pretty cold out there. It's cold. And yeah, stay warm, stay dry. Take care of yourselves. Sweet dreams. And I love you very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then we have ASMR on Friday, and then the final Sega Saturday this weekend. Don't want to miss it. It's the last one. Wonder Boy in Monster World. So, Wonder Boy, or something like that. But good night, guys. Bye bye. Love you. Bye bye.